Currency. That's a pretty interesting topic, I believe. And if we look at the traditional financial markets, we can easily notice that the most important currency seems to be fiat currency. Euro, dollars, whichever. Fiat. The traditional financial system, which is always doomed to fail, which is actually the God that we all pray to, if you think about it, because we work for money, right? So that we have money to buy things and have experiences. But the one God that unifies us all seems to be the God of money, even though it's metaphorically. It's not, I don't think there is such thing as a God of money, but I'm just saying we all seem to be working for the God of money and worshiping the God of money. There's also another type of currencies which is called cryptocurrencies, decentralized currencies, and that's an awesome future project for the world, which we may inevitably experience. But the main topic that I want to discuss now is that there is another currency which trumps all of them, which we all need, we all have to different extents, and we all use for our experiences and things. And that currency is called lifespan and health span. So it's a currency made out of two currencies, I guess we can say, or out of two elements, right? Water and fire. Lifespan and health span. Health span is the amount of health that we have in order to be functional human beings. Lifespan is the amount of time spent from birth till death. Lifespan can be longer than health span. You can lose your health and then live for another 20 years, being sick, taking medicine and all that, but the longest one is our lifespan. So why is that important? Well, it's important because we use both of these, the same currency with both elements, for everything that we do, for everything that we buy. For example, let's say you want to buy a car and the price of that vehicle is 5 months of your salary. That means you are going to spend 5 months of your limited lifespan in order to acquire a car. It can be more months, less months. I'm just averaging out some numbers. The same with a house. You want to buy a house, but it will take you 20 years to pay the house through mortgage. 10, 15, 20 years. At the end of those 20 years, you have spent 20 years of your lifespan in order to fully purchase that house. So yes, you spend dollars and euros and whatever, but what you really spend is lifespan. Even for experiences, like I'm walking in the woods by myself right now. This takes time. Takes time. What do you mean it takes time? It takes time from my lifespan. So I'm spending a chunk of my lifespan in order to walk in the woods, on the mountains, make this video and talk to you, which is fine. I love it. So the main currency that we all use, always use, is our lifespan, and also health span as an important element, because you can find yourself in a terrible working place where there's a lot of negativity. Your boss is a terrible human being. He or she treats you in a very negative way, and you have to work in order to pay the mortgage and feed the kids and all that. Of course, that's understandable. But what you're also spending is not just your lifespan, you're burning your health span. because there's so many cases of people who work themselves into an early grave. This is not to criticize them, this is not to point fingers, this is just to underline that although we think in terms of currencies, traditional currencies, which all of them have failed throughout history, if you look in the all written history of human species, all the currencies that we ever had failed, all of them. Gold hasn't, but that's a store of value. Although it has been used as a currency, it's true, it's true. But all the other currencies, they all always failed. So we have no real currency for now, although cryptocurrencies may step in to change that, especially Bitcoin. But all of them are just a layer on top of lifespan and health span. So the reason I keep repeating these terms is mostly for myself, so I can create a new neural pathway and start thinking in terms of health span and lifespan, which may make things better by changing priority to what we spend our lifespan on. Like you can spend 3 hours a day watching terrible negative news. There's always an emergency, there's always a crisis, there's always you turn on the TV or no, you go online or whichever other method, the same pointing to the same thing, and it just poisons our minds. And that's a lifespan that we will never get back. We just spend a huge chunk of our lifespan polluting our mind with garbage that is designed to keep us separated, segregated, fragmented. So when you start thinking in terms of currency, in terms of lifespan and health span as currencies, then you say, you know what, I have a limited lifespan, I have a limited health span. These are by far the most valuable assets that I will ever have, until technology may change that far in the future. So then it makes sense to start investing them in the best possible way by not wasting so much time following people online who post selfies with filters where they hide their age, they hide their wrinkles, they hide their pimples, they hide everything, and they look perfect. And they seem to have an amazing life. Oh my God, look here, look at this person, they're enjoying life. It's a theater, it's a show. Some do have an amazing life and they post that online, but most of them don't. But that's lifespan that we spend looking at other people's life. How is that helping us? I mean, if you can use that in a constructive way, great. Cheap movies, terrible shows that are designed to lower our IQ. I mean, you turn on the TV and you watch some of the stuff. If you just come on this planet today and you would see what's happening on the paid, corporately owned, privately owned media, you would think this is an insane asylum. This is an absurd theater. But we spend our lifespan, a huge chunk of that, watching that garbage. Also, we spend a lot of our lifespan and health span purchasing things that we don't need. I mean, I don't know about you, okay, I'm talking about myself. Even though I'm quite minimalist, I still find myself buying things that I don't use, that just sit there, and they cost money. Well, I paid with money, but how did I get that money? By working. What does that mean? I've invested lifespan and potential health span in order to purchase some things. And when they all add up, you realize you spend thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, whatever, huge amounts of money throughout your life that are just useless, that you never used. And that's a huge chunk of your lifespan, which was just burned. You burnt it. Gone. Gone. Especially considering that most of our lifespan is filled with daily routine, eating, sleeping, drinking, all of that stuff. So we only have this much lifespan, and ideally the same amount of health span to match the lifespan. So that needs to be seen as a currency, that because it is a currency, that needs to be treated with the utmost respect, your lifespan and your health span, and that can be used in a way to make better decisions when it comes to investment in physical assets, investment in life experiences, investment in time spent with certain people, and time no longer spent with certain people. Because the commodity currency is our lifetime and our lifespan. So we should honor that, protect that, and use it in the best possible way, because we're not getting any more of it.